Hello and welcome back to the channel, the last of the first Fallen episodes. In the rebellion of heaven, some angels fell swiftly, swept away in the tide of Lucifer's defiance. Others followed. Azazel's rage, Astaroth's corruption, and Leviathan's hunger for dominion. But not all fell at once. Some hesitated, they clung to their places in the shining host, torn between loyalty and doubt, between obedience and pride, and then one by one, the last of them broke. They were not the first sparks of rebellion, but the final embers. Their descent marked the end of heaven's mercy. Tonight we tell the story of those who were the last to fall: Mammon, Samyaza, Shamsil, and Armorous. Their choices sealed the rebellion, and their names still burn as warnings in the ashes of history. Our first is Mammon, Lord of Greed. Mammon's name was become a curse, synonymous with greed. But before his fall, he was the angel of abundance, guardian of heaven's treasures, and steward of divine prosperity. He walked among the vaults of creation, watching over the flow of beauty and wealth in the cosmos. Gold, gems, and radiant jewels were gifts meant to reflect divine glory, but to Mammon, they became obsessions. The more he gazed upon creation, the more he desired to possess it. He whispered to others that power was not in light or love, but in ownership. Wealth, he believed, was the true throne of authority. When the rebellion ignited, Mammon faltered. He was not driven by Lucifer's pride or Azazel's fury, but by a hunger for dominion through riches. His fall was slow, like a treasure hoard rotten from within. In hell, Mammon became treasurer of the damned, seated upon mountains of false gold. His dominion is not a kingdom of stone, but of endless avarice, a reminder that greed can turn even guardians into tyrants. Our second is Samyaza, the rebel watcher. Samyaza's fall is written in both heaven and earth. He was chief among the watchers. They were angels tasked with guiding humanity, but his heart strayed, not through loyalty or anger, but through forbidden desire. Drawn to mortal women, he bound them with Pact. Through these unions, the Nephilim were born, giants, twisted half-breeds that shook the balance of creation. His rebellion was unique. It was not only against God, but against the very order of nature. Legends tell that when the rebellion faltered, Samyaza considered returning, considered seeking forgiveness, but pride and shame bound him, tighter than any chain. In a fearful account, he begged the other watchers to follow him, and when they did, his guilt grew unbearable. He is said to lie bound beneath mountains, cursed to watch eternity in silence, a betrayer of both heaven and mankind. In the first Fallen, Samyaza is the corrupter of bloodlines, the one who broke barriers never meant to be crossed. Our third is Shamsil, the twilight flame. Shamsil's name means son of God. Once he stood radiant, entrusted with one of the greatest tasks in order of heaven, guarding the gates of Eden after Adam and Eve were cast down. He bore the flaming sword, sentinel of paradise, burning with divine fire. But as ages passed, Shamsil's loyalty dimmed. He grew weary of obedience, questioning why mankind deserves protection when angels themselves were denied free choice. His doubts became his undoing. In the rebellion he wavered. When the flames of war spread, he turned from guardian to doubter, his fire no longer shining as a beacon when flickering into shadow. When he fell, his sword no longer defended, but destroyed. Shamsil became the twilight flame. Not the radiant sun, but the fading ember. His fall was not one of rage or lust, but of delusion, proof that doubt can burn as fiercely as pride. Among the first fallen, Shamsil is remembered as the guardian who lost faith, the torch that burned both sides of the divine. And our final one of the first fallen is Armorous. Unlike the others, was not a leader of armies, nor a wielder of flame. He was the quiet teacher, the revealer of secrets, the angel of unravelling. He taught mankind how to break enchantments, to unbind what heaven had sealed. With his whispers came knowledge, too dangerous to wield. Secrets meant only for the divine. Armorous did not roar in rebellion, nor proclaim his defiance. His fall was subtle, like a poison in a cup. A whisper of temptation, a forbidding gift that mankind could not refuse. He was among the last to fall, not because of loyalty, but because of hesitation. His betrayal was quieter, less dramatic than Lucifer's or Azazel, but just as damning. When he descended, he became bound to sorcery, forever linked to the unravelling of order. He did not forge legions, but opened doors that would never close. Armorous was the whisperer, the deceiver, and the host's history, the last to betray. So Mammon, the treasurer, turned tyrant of greed. Samyaza, the rebel watcher who corrupted heaven and earth. Shamsil, the twilight flame who let doubt consume him. Armorous, the whisperer whose secret unbound the world. They were the last to fall, the final embers of rebellion. Together they sealed the fate of heaven's war. They were not the first sparks, but without them, the fire would not have spread. So now the first fallen is now complete, their names written in flame and shadow. And with their fall, the rebellion was finished, but its echo still burned in every story of pride, corruption and doubt. So now we hope you enjoyed this series. Please don't forget to check out the other episodes. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.